Hey guys, it's Elise and welcome back to My Cupcake Addiction. Who doesn't love a carnival? We all love them, but what's the best part? There's the rides, there's all the sights and sounds, but most importantly, there's the food. Today I'm going to be showing you 4 really cute carnival-inspired treats. The things that you're going to need for your carnival treats: I've got some mini ice cream cones, some multicolored sprinkles, and some little tiny pre-made mini meringues, a couple of Twinkies, a couple of lollipop sticks. I've got sanding sugar in 3 different colors, so yellow, red, and blue. A bit of brown sugar, you could also use white. I've got a pound cake, or in Australia we call them a Madeira cake. 1 cupcake that I've baked in a nice decorative cupcake case. A little bit of buttercream frosting, some melted red candy melt, some melted dark chocolate, and a few M&Ms. Let's get started. First up, we're gonna make, we call them in Australia a Dagwood dog, but I'm pretty sure they're corn dogs in the US. So you're gonna take your Twinkie and a lollipop stick, and I'm gonna dip the lollipop stick about 1 inch into my red candy melt. And then I'm gonna go into the bottom of my Twinkie, and I'm gonna drive that stick right up. You're gonna get a little red seal, which kind of looks a little bit like a bit of sausage poking out the bottom. You need to let that seal completely set. So I'm gonna take my red candy melts, give them a little tap, make sure they're nice and fluid, and I'm gonna dip my corn dog straight in the top, pull it out, and you want to give it just a couple little taps. That reminds me of everything carnival. I'd always get a Dagwood dog because I was told I had to eat something savory before I could move on to the sweets. I'm going to pop them into a set of polystyrene to set. For our fries, you want a pound cake or a Madeira cake because they're really nice and solid. They're quite a dense cake. And you want to cut off just your 2 sides, but leave the tops and bottoms because it's kind of nice if the fries look a little bit like they've been a bit overcooked at the ends and the ends aren't perfectly straight. Then I'm just going to use a serrated edge knife just to cut through and make fries shapes. You want to take your fries now and just roll them in your brown sugar, which is going to kind of make them look salted and also give them the illusion of being cooked. Now, potentially the entire reason that I made fries for this video is because I found a little tiny deep fryer at one of our novelty stores here, and I think it's so incredibly cute. So I needed an excuse to fill it with fries, which today is that excuse. Make tons of fries. If you don't have a little deep fryer, which I imagine most of you won't, I'll also leave a link down below to a really cute little fries template so you can print out and stick together your own little paper fries packets, and you can fill those for a party. Your little cupcake's gonna be a frozen ice. I've got one of these cute little cupcake containers, but I never bake in them because I find the oils from the cupcake go through, so I bake in a regular liner and then pop them into the cute ones. And my buttercream frosting I'm gonna pop onto just 1/3 because I wanna make this like a striped frozen ice. So I'm just gonna scrape it on with a knife, and then I'm going to use the back of the knife just to shape it. It doesn't matter if it's not exactly straight and even, but you do want it to be domed, just like crushed ice. I'm gonna do my blue sanding sugar first, so I'll pour it into a bit of a shallower bowl. Before I use that, I'm gonna use the back of my knife just to trim down, give myself a nice kind of a flat edge. And then I'm going to dip the edges while holding my cupcake in place and just roll my crushed ice. Don't put too much blue in there because you want to be able to see the white through it because that's what makes it look more like crushed ice. A few little extra sprinkles on by hand with care, and then we'll add a bit more frosting to do our second little stripe. I'm using a knife because it's about the width that I want to go for that second stripe. So you can see as I put it on, I really just kind of wipe it down sideways, and you can see I get almost the right width. Try not to let too much of that pesky blue get into your white frosting. That's probably the hardest part of this. So I'm going to push it in towards the frosting, and at the same time I'm smoothing off the side, smooth off the top. Into the bigger bowl goes my yellow sprinkles. So I'm just going to carefully roll it, but I'm going to try to keep the blue out as much as I can. The blue's already got sprinkles on it, so more sprinkles shouldn't really want to stick to it, because once the sprinkles are on the buttercream loses its stick. And finally the red, which is essentially the same as the blue. So we're just going to use the buttercream, we're going to finish off our last little side, and then we're going to dip that in the red sprinkles. Once all 3 are in place, you want to use the palm of your hand and you just want to smooth it out, and that's going to bring all 3 of those colors together, and it's going to make it that really lovely, nice rounded dome. There you've got your crushed ice, or we call them snow cones, even when they're not in a cone over here. The final treat that we have is going to be a triple decker ice cream. So I have my little tiny meringues, and I'm just going to use a knife just to trim the very top peak off 2 of them. I'm going to keep my best peak. And then I'm going to take my little ice cream cones and I'm going to fill them with candy because you can never have too much candy in my opinion. So now I'm going to take a little bit of dark chocolate and I'm just going to put chocolate just inside the rim. I don't want too much of it showing around the outside edge. You could also use white chocolate here. You could use pink chocolate to make different colors, but I'm going to use dark chocolate. On goes one of my meringues, and that's gonna hold all my candy in place. And then I'm gonna put on a little chocolate drizzle. So just putting some chocolate on my spoon, I'm just gonna place it on top. And once the chocolate's on top, I'm gonna allow it just to kind of drizzle down. You still wanna see the white ice cream in between the layers, but you want it to look like it's got chocolate sauce. You can give it a couple of taps to help that chocolate along. Then some sprinkles, and on goes our second flat-topped meringue, straight on the top. We're going to repeat the process again, so a nice generous amount of chocolate. If you're doing a lot of these, do all of the first meringues first and then move on to the seconds, because it gives that bottom chocolate time to set so you don't risk knocking off that top meringue. And on goes some more sprinkles. And finally our top meringue, a little more chocolate. Gently now, because I know my bottom chocolate's not set. I want it to drizzle, but I don't want it to fall. And final sprinkles. The great thing about these ones is, unlike a lot of the ice cream treats you make, once that chocolate's set, you actually don't need to stand them up anymore. They can lay down, you can put them into containers, you can put them into little treat boxes or little goodie bags. Those are your triple decker ice creams, which is the fourth out of our really fun, simple carnival treats. So obeying the rules of savory before sweet, kind of, I'm all ready for my carnival party. I hope you guys have liked today's video. Make sure you check out the channel if you want to see more from me. Subscribe if you're not already. And as always, thanks very much for watching.